It's a bit like my 14-year-old daughter. There's a lot of letting go. You can't control the outcomes.
Brand entropy is being talked about as an increasing problem in design. How do you protect the brands you create from it?
When that artwork goes out the door, those rules and guidelines go with it, and it's not always possible, I know. We aim to sell that part in as security, if you like, to the client, and actually sell it much earlier on and say you can give your kit to another agency or another creative outlet and they can change things, and before you know it, that's the way the brand does it and no one questions it.
Yeah, you can't control everything. And brands change, brands always evolve, and decisions need to be made to suit a new situation that you may not have thought of within those guidelines or brand world document. I think it's important to acknowledge what's happening with the work, influence what you can, but know that you're really in control of it up to a certain point, and then you do have to probably let go.
I don't know that you can ever fully solve that, but I think if you are trying to minimize that, then it's got to be through training. Hands-on training with the team that designed the brand and the team that's going to be handed over to.
Brand consistency is the single biggest thing that will connect to people out there in the world. And you've got these challenges that are going against it.
I think it's a problem, but it's inevitable, you know?
Yeah.
You clean your kid's room, it's going to get messy, you know? It's going to happen. So, you know, we do try and educate our clients with what they're giving them and give them very clear, you know, guardrails or rules to go by.
If you're not taking your client on the journey of understanding the importance of design and why you're doing what you're doing, if you're just handing something over, then no wonder it gets destroyed.
I think brands that do it successfully hold on to the spirit of the brand. Hopefully then you get competent designers who can make it feel on brand and feel great, but you know, restrict it too much with the bulletproof guidelines and you're going to have something that might fall flat or might be broken.
And one of the ways you can kind of mitigate some of those risks is by really empowering the client. So that empowering them might be sending a staff member to kind of work with them and set them up and help them flow through the operations.
I think a lot of clients just want to think about brand as campaign and always change with whatever's happening around them. And if they go a bit deeper and look at the strategy as being enduring, then they'll have that consistent thread.
I think you need to try and get some sense of kinship or wavelength alignment in terms of the value that that person has bought from you, and understand that that value is only unlocked if they keep compounding that. It's not a transactional thing, it's an ongoing kind of thing.
A lot of the clients we work with don't have big in-house design teams, and they don't often get to work with creative firms for the implementation. So building brands that are really workable and kind of dummy-proof in a way is really, really helpful as well. So giving them the opportunity to play within the brand space, but giving them some constraints so they can do it well.
Because if you create like very complicated systems, they require complicated solutions.
The more you involve them in the work and the more you involve them in co-creating the solution, the more they can own it. And really what you want to see as creatives is the ability for someone to take what your work is and to make the same decisions that you would have done.
When you are building a brand, it's a everyday, day in, day out, and that can only be done by the business. So we as designers who are the assist in how this gets done, we need to be open to change, because a business will have to change with context and circumstance, and in doing that the work might have to change too.
Whenever you've got an active client that's contributing to the work along the way and pushing you and making you harder rather than waiting for the solution, you do better work. They get better work. You know, you make them sharper, they sharpen you, and I think that's what we look for in a relationship. So hopefully it doesn't just get handed over and it's done and dusted. Hopefully it is actually that ongoing conversation, and you can continue to shape that brand with them.